So this cartoonist kind of bombs some department stores and just demands a ton of money. The story's wild. And it all starts with this guy, Arno. And Arno, he's a sign painter living in Berlin. And Arno, he's got all kinds of problems. He's struggling with depression and brain damage, and he's broke. Life is just not going well for him. I mean, bro's been breathing in toxic paint fumes for years, working at auto body shops, airbrushing motorcycles, painting signs, and doctors later say these fumes basically gave him brain damage. Like, he's feeling foggy all the time, disconnected, depressed as hell. But here's the thing, Arno's always wanted to be a cartoonist. Like, that's his dream. When he's around 21, he sends his sketches to this satirical magazine, asking for advice on how to make it as a cartoonist, and they never even write him back. So now it's 1988, and Arno's almost 38 years old. He's got bleached blonde hair, a bushy mustache, and he's doing random jobs just to survive. And apparently he wants to start a new career as a sausage vendor on the streets. And one day in 1988, I don't know if he just snaps or what, but Arno ends up in a position where he really needs to make some money, fast. And so Arno comes up with a plan to get rich, and the way he does it is absolutely insane. First, he turns his kitchen into a bomb factory. Like, this guy's always been good with his hands, tinkering with chemistry kits as a kid, building things. So he reads some books, buys supplies from electronic shops, and he teaches himself how to make a pipe bomb. And so Arno targets this luxury department store called Dagobert in West Berlin. I mean, this place is fancy as hell. His plan is to plant a bomb, demand money, and basically terrorize them into paying. And he wants 500,000 marks. So he plants his first bomb, and it doesn't even go off. I don't know if he messed up the timer or what, but it's a dud. Then the police can't even find his instructions for the money handoff, so the whole thing's a disaster. But Arno, he doesn't give up. And on May 25th, 1988, boom, a bomb goes off in the sports section of Dagobert. The whole department just gets torn to pieces. But here's the thing, Arno set the timer to make sure the store was closed and nobody would get hurt. He's very careful about that. I guess he doesn't actually want to kill anyone, just wants the money. After the bomb goes off, he sends a letter demanding the 500,000 marks. And for the handoff, bro comes up with this wild scheme. He tells them to get on a train with the money, and he'll give instructions over a two-way radio using a voice changer. When he gives the signal, they're supposed to throw the money out the window while the train's moving. I mean, this way the cops can't predict where he'll be, right? So Arno's hiding beside the train tracks near where he works, and by the time the train rolls by, he's drunk most of a bottle of vodka, I guess to calm his nerves. He's slurring into his radio, giving instructions, and a package crashes onto the tracks. Police helicopters are circling overhead, and this guy's just scrambling to grab the bag and get the hell out of there. And he actually gets it, 500,000 marks, just like that. So Arno takes his money and just goes crazy with it. He's traveling all over the world, the Mediterranean, South Korea, the Philippines. In Manila, he meets this woman named Edna. She's in her early 20s, and he marries her. In 1999, they move back to Germany together, they have a son, he buys a used Mercedes. He's even paying taxes, like he's some kind of honest citizen or something. For a while, life is actually good. But then the money runs out. I mean, 500,000 marks sounds like a lot, but when you're traveling the world and supporting a family, it goes fast. And Arno's still dealing with depression, still feeling that fog in his head from all the fumes he breathed in. A doctor tells him it might take 15 to 20 years for his brain to heal, which I'm sure is absolute hell for him. And so in 1992, I don't know if he's desperate or what, but bro decides to do it again. One day in June 1992, boom, a bomb goes off at a Karstadt department store in Hamburg. This one's even bigger, like millions of marks in damage because a fire starts and the sprinklers flood everything. And that same day, Arno sends an extortion letter demanding 1 million marks, and he raises it to 1.4 million marks. He's like,
"Pay up, or I'll keep bombing your stores."
Now, the media starts calling him Dagobert, and I guess that's because he's using these coded newspaper ads to communicate. Like, he'll tell them to place an ad that says, "Uncle Dagobert greets his nephews." That's the signal that they should be ready for a money handoff. And Dagobert, that's the German name for Scrooge McDuck, that cartoon duck who swims in money. And the name just catches on. And here's where it gets really crazy. People start actually liking this guy. Like, they're selling I Am Dagobert t-shirts all over Berlin. There's even a band that takes recordings of his voice and mixes them into a rap song. Bro's becoming a folk hero. And the reason people kind of like him is because he's trying really hard not to hurt anybody. He always sets his bombs to go off when the stores are closed or evacuated. Plus, his schemes to get the money are so elaborate and clever that people are actually impressed. Like, one time he puts a sandbox with a false bottom over a sewer grate, and he's waiting in the sewer below to grab the money. The cops are watching the sandbox for hours, and when they finally open it, they're just staring into a hole. He already got away. I mean, that's actually genius. Then there's this magnetic box scheme. Arno attaches a box magnetically to a train, and it's supposed to pick up the money as it goes by. He actually gets the box, but when he opens it, it's just filled with paper scraps. The cops tricked him. But multiple handoffs keep failing. The police are manipulating the packages, or they're chasing him and he barely escapes. Like, one time a cop tries to grab him and slips on wet leaves and falls. The media reports it as the cop slipping on dog poop, and it becomes this huge joke. Headlines everywhere making fun of the police. And so, more bombs go off. Bremen, Hanover, Bielefeld, Magdeburg, Berlin. 5 bomb attacks total. One person gets slightly injured, but mostly it's just property damage. But the damage is adding up to tens of millions of marks, and Karstadt employees are calling in sick because they're scared to go to work. Customers are avoiding the stores. It's a whole mess. At some point, Arno gets more aggressive. He threatens in writing that he's willing to kill people if he doesn't get his money. And the police are going crazy trying to catch this guy. They set up a special task force, like 400 cops, even elite tactical units. The whole thing costs taxpayers millions of marks. But Dagobert just keeps slipping away. And months go by. A year goes by. 2 years. Arno's living on unemployment benefits by this point, barely scraping by. He's desperate for money, but he's also exhausted. The whole thing's wearing him down. Then, in April 1994, things finally come to a head. Arno makes an extortion call from a payphone, and the police trace it. They spot this nervous guy in a white rental car. So they check the rental company, and boom, the car is registered to Arno Funke. So they start watching him. On April 22, 1994, Arno goes to a phone booth in Berlin to make another call, giving instructions for the next handoff. And the police are ready. A black BMW skids to a halt. Cops jump out, yelling,
"Stop! Stand still! Police!"
And they grab him. And Arno? He just smiles. He's like,
Now you finally caught me. Today you'll definitely pop the corks.
Back at the police station, it's like a party. 400 cops celebrating in the parking lot, popping champagne bottles, dancing, the whole thing. One of the investigators says it felt like a festival. And so, bam, Arno gets arrested and charged with extortion and multiple bomb attacks. Here's Arno's mugshot. Arno gets 9 years in prison, but while he's locked up, he finally becomes the cartoonist he always wanted to be. A satirical magazine starts publishing his work, and after 6 years, he gets out early. And today, he's still drawing cartoons.